This week we're bringing you the update on Quartzfest, Winter Field Day, and the latest breaking news from ARRL. Hello and welcome to the Ham Radio Guy, and good evening, or whatever time you might be listening to this podcast. It's your host, Marvin, W0MET. We are bringing you the latest of topics, news, and information each week right here to this show. This week, we are going to start off with some information about Quartzfest, which is going on this week down in Quartzsite, Arizona. We will speak with Michael, W4OPS, who is the owner of Club Gear Online and is visiting Quartzfest again for a second time this year, and also being a vendor down there. First, a little information about Quartzfest and how it got its start. After informally meeting for several years with various ham radio and RV friends, near mile marker 99 in 1995, 6 miles south of Quartzsite, Arizona, Harvey K5LJM and Margie AB5ZX decided to officially host a ham gathering around the last week of January. That was in 1997. They began to call it Quartzfest and put the word out and had nearly 60 RVs that were parked around the site in the Sun-Run Desert. Since then, it has been turned over to several organizers, which has kept Quartzfest going. Quartzfest has grown to include hundreds of ham radio enthusiasts and their families each year, and continues to grow. Margie Tetmeyer has continually expressed, on behalf of Harvey and herself, how grateful and thankful they are to everyone that has attended and continues to make Quartzfest better every year. They continue to welcome new friends and more visitors every year to this simple little, well, they started out as a camp out for the future. Let's go live to Quartzfest and speak with Michael, W4OPS. Good evening, Michael, and how are you?
I'm doing well, Marvin, and thanks for having me on the show this evening.
Hey, thank you for joining, taking a little time out of your Quartzfest festivities this evening to go over a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what's going on or happening this week at Quartzfest so far.
I'll tell you what, it's been a busy week, and it's going to continue to be a busy week. Quartzfest is full of all kinds of seminars, off-road rides. We have daily raffles, and just lots of opportunities to learn. They have a DX challenge out here. They do ham radio testing, and they give new radio operators a chance to get on the air and actually operate an HF radio. So there's all kinds of things going on this week, and usually they have 3 different areas, and they'll have multiple seminars going on at the same time. So you'll have a seminar going on in Area A and a seminar going on in Area B at the same time. So like a traditional ham fest, you kind of got to pick which topics you want to go and learn about, and the people you want to go listen to.
Sure. What have been some of those seminars or topics that have been discussed in some of those seminars?
Oh man, they have all kinds of topics on mesh networking for e-com. I'm doing a Parks on the Air topic tomorrow. They have a nano VNA and other test equipment. In fact, right now as we're doing this, they have a FCC emissions and kind of what that means to you to do the current FCC emissions that they have. But not just ham radio related stuff. They have a lot of non-ham radio related things too. Of course, we're in the hills of Arizona, and there's gold in them hills, and they have a panning for gold seminar. They do a cast iron cooking, crocheting. Last night they had a military history and misconceptions. So the list goes on and on about the numerous and variety of topics that they cover while they're out here.
So is this a lot of like nomadic type of classes and stuff, or is it more about skill, survival, or just kind of a combination of everything?
Boy, maybe just a combination of everything. They have about 480 registered people out here. And there are people like me who are just out here camping in a tent for a week. There are people out here in RVs. One guy has a Jeep set up, and he has a hammock right behind his Jeep that he's sleeping in. Every kind of small camper you can think of, pickup trucks with camper shells on the back of them, just a variety of cargo vans. A couple big names like Gordon West, he's out here.
Very nice.
So you have a lot of big names out here.
Sure. So you said there was about 480 people in attendance or registered this year at Quartzfest. Is that up or down due to some of the virus attendance or not?
Now, I'll tell you, it's up from last year. Last year, they had a kind of a mini thing. They called it Quartz Pause. And they didn't have any seminars because they didn't want to have any large gatherings or anything like that. So it was really toned down last year. But it's not unheard of to have 600 or 700 people out here attending these seminars and everything every year. This is a great time of year to be out in the desert. It's beautiful weather, beautiful sunsets. So you get people coming from all states as far as South Carolina. There are some people from South Carolina and Florida that are out here in Arizona for this event.
Wow, that's very interesting. Well, that's cool. Um, so you mentioned you're going to be doing a POTA seminar tomorrow, and what is some of the discussion you'll have around that?
Well, I'll be talking about a Parks on the Air, which is what POTA is. And first of all, I'll be just distinguishing the difference between parks on the air, summits on the air, and islands on the air. I think a lot of people kind of get those three things confused. So we'll talk about the type of equipment that it takes to have a successful POTA operation, how to have fun while you're doing it, how to work the pile up and things like that. So I'll be looking forward to doing that Parks on the Air seminar. Of course, on my website that I have, clubgearonline.com, we have a lot of Parks on the Gear stuff. So as soon as I got out here, I was already shaking hands and meeting people with similar interests, people who've activated several parks, and put me to shame because they've activated parks in 40 different states. So it's really been a lot of fun to just meet other people that have similar interests to yours.
Sure, absolutely. You talked about having multiple states and being able to operate, and that's truly one of my personal goals as well to be able to have operations in multiple states doing parks on the air. So that's awesome that there are other people with similar goals and achievements that want to be able to get that done. I'd love to be able to say I did all the lower 48 at some point. So, well, that's great. So, how long does Quartzfest? It started, I believe, on Monday and goes till when?
It goes to Saturday. Sunday they actually had opening festivities, like an opening ceremony, and each day about 3 o'clock they have a kind of a open house or a round table thing where we get together, discuss what went on during the day, what's going on tomorrow, and then we have raffles as well. ICOM's been kind enough to donate some ICOM handheld radios to give away each day. They're also sponsoring a radio in the DX Challenge. They have a 20-foot trailer out here that has 3 radios in it. So they're doing FT8, they're doing CW, and of course they're doing sideband as well, sideband voice. So they're a special event station, W7Q, and W7Q is a special event station that's running throughout the week, and people can actually send in a QSL card and get a special event QSL card from Quartzsite as well. So that's kind of cool. But it's going to be going until Saturday, and then Saturday we'll have our closing ceremonies sometime in the afternoon, I believe.
Oh, very good. Well, we appreciate you taking some of your time from your evening here while at Quartzfest and explaining a little bit about what's going on and how that what type of activities they have during the week and the type of number of people that come there from all over. And for all the listeners out there, if you are listening to this podcast during this week still, reach out to W7Q, the special event station for Quartzfest, and get your special event station QSL card. So, Michael, just again, the owner of Club Gear Online has lots of various items, ham radio related and POTA gear related. And if you want anything like that, just go ahead and visit clubgearonline.com. Or if you have something specialty for your own club or group, he can probably help you design that or get that put together. So thank you for your time this week, Mike, and have a great evening and continue to enjoy Quartzfest. I did see the video you'd sent earlier today of kind of all the different RVs that were just scattered over miles of area there that you'd sent, and I found that kind of interesting too. So very good.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you again for joining us this evening, and have a great week. And I'll say 73 to you, and thank you for your time.
I appreciate you having me, and hopefully we get to work you on the air as well. W0MET, this is W4OPS. I'll say 73s to you, Marvin.
All right. Thank you for joining the Ham Radio Guy podcast today. Take care. Well, that was Michael Turner, W4OPS, visiting us live from Quartzfest, Arizona for Quartzfest this year, 2022. If you get your chance to go out and visit next year, I don't have the particular dates in front of me, but I'm sure they do that each and every week, the last week of January. So get yourself prepared now to visit Quartzfest in 2023. Well, we're going to move right on into a couple things. It's up and coming this coming weekend, the January 29th and 30th. It is the last Saturday of every year, and we call that Winter Field Day. And this is an opportunity for folks to get out and be those dedicated operators that want to continue to have emergency communication in a winter environment, which is just as important as practicing during the days of summer for our summer field days. But, getting through some of those obstacles that we have to bear for the weather of winter, sometimes snow or rain, depending on what part of the country might be in, or even ice. And getting through, those disasters, no matter what time of year that nature decides to send it your way. So it's when you least expect it that usually happens. So having yourself prepared and knowing what it takes for you to set up and operate in any type of condition is just part of Winter Field Day Association's goals. And so this can be found in U.S., Canada, and throughout the year. And Winter Field Day is, taking place, again, U.S. and Canada. Sorry about that. And, give you the opportunity to provide those emergency services if need be. So we'll go over some of the things. Winter Field Day runs for 24 hours. It is, again, the last full weekend in January each year. And it runs from, I'm going to go with 1 p.m. Central Standard Time which is about 1800 UTC, to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday. And again, 1800 UTC. And for 2022, the dates again are January 29th and 30th, this upcoming weekend. And, you can set up no earlier than 12 hours total beforehand. And, it is open to all amateur bands, HF, VHF, and UHF, except for the 12, 17, 30, and 60 meter bands. And the other thing is that is not allowed for modes. Pretty much anything is available except for FT8 or FT4. Cannot do digital transmissions using those modes. However, JS8 call is a mode that does take a little bit more information, and you can use that for digital. So I know several people do use that as their option for digital modes during field day. But D-Star, C4FM, DMR, Packet, PSK, any of those other options are certainly available, along with AM, FM, and single-sided band CW. So, get your gear out, and good opportunity to go out and practice and get your self warmed up to some operating in a little bit of a contest mode and having a little fun along the way. My local club, the Stones River Amateur Radio Club here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, will be participating, and we will operate as For India. And that is basically saying that we are working on indoors from a remote or insulated or heated protected structure of any time, where an amateur station is normally not available, versus like a park building, cabins, community centers. An EOC may be utilized, providing all the equipment set up by the contestants and not is like permanently stationed there. The other option would be it could be outdoors, operating from a fully or partially exposed elements and at least 30 feet away from a normal station location. And then you also have your home operation, operating from inside a home or inside another structure to a home that could be an unusual location of an amateur radio station like your garage or sunroom. Generally used previously erected antenna system. A home entrant may still be eligible to claim the alternate power if not using commercial power, so running a generator or something along those lines. You cannot use any existing or permanently installed antenna system or station components renting to your home station. And there are only 3 categories again: indoor, outdoor, or home, as described above. And then you can operate your points, submit them, and you can find all this information at winterfieldday.com. And you'll need to do your log submission as soon as you can. I don't know that they do have a deadline March 1st, so you have about a month to get it in, and they do like it in the Cabrillo format. So there's a little bit of information about Winter Field Day and getting that going if you would like to participate yet this weekend on that. And then we will move into just a little bit of news here as we wrap up the show here with some things. And let's bring you some news from the ARRL. And so Aries activates as a wind-driven year-end fire destroys over 1,000 Colorado homes. The members of the Amateur Radio Service in Colorado volunteered for the Boulder County Amateur Radio Emergency Service, turned out on December 30th in 2021 for the devastating Marshall Fire, which roared through Superior and parts of Louisville and Colorado. Intense winds whipped a grass fire south of Boulder near Marshall into a massive firestorm that became too large and fierce for firefighters to battle. The Aries group stepped up along with the Boulder Office of Emergency Management and activated the EOC and initiated Aries. That time, staffing was initiated to the activation of the radio network, which assigned Aries members to the EOC. And those volunteers supported services for emergency communications for power failures and shutdowns caused by utility loss. And with about 8 hours, they used a battery backup system for cell phones and landlines failed, and the 911 services went down. So it was a great opportunity for amateur radio to step in and utilize their services to help provide communication for local areas when those other emergency lines went down. So even WindLink was used during that fire and support. So, well, for many of you who are excited to hear once again in the beginning of February here, February 10th to the 13th, the ARRL will hold their national convention in Orlando, Florida at HamCation. I will be live in HamCation as well, enjoying some time there on Friday of this year. And so, you should be able to have an opportunity to meet the team of members and volunteers, program representatives from the ARRL during this time, and also have an opportunity to continue to develop knowledge and skills in radio technology and communication at the many seminars and classes being offered at HamCation this year. This is the first time since 2019 that HamCation has taken place, and we are certainly looking forward to going as my first year visiting HamCation in Orlando. It should be a lot of fun. This does take place on the Central Florida Fairgrounds and Expo Park. It's an 87-acre lakefront fairground, and it will be the 75th anniversary of HamCation this year in Orlando, Florida. So if you have a chance to go still, you've got plenty of time. And there will be many YouTubers again at HamCation as well this year, and they have been invited to provide some courses as well during that time. So if you have an opportunity to attend HamCation, I would recommend you going. And on another news front, there is, another year for state QSO parties. So if you would like to look up your state QSO party or other states' QSO parties, you can find that information on the ARRL website and be prepared for many of those contests and working those QSO parties throughout the year in the U.S. here, as well as even there's a Quebec one in Canada. So you might want to check out the rules or information for that as we move into this year a little bit more. And anything else in the radio news world that is relevant? The ARRL did hire a former county EMA director in Carmel as a new director of emergency management. And his name is Josh Johnston, KE5MHV. He will be at the National Convention doing emergency communications training track on February 10th. And he comes from an extensive interagency cooperation planning planner in Arkansas. He's a master certified emergency manager and a past board member of the Arkansas Emergency Management Association, where he served president for 2 years. Johnson has experience working with government and agency representatives, as well as being a boots on the ground field type of guy. He will be based in the ARRL headquarters in Newington, Connecticut. Well, I don't think I get that out this evening. And he'll be working with staff members and volunteers coordinating the ARRL Board of New Emergency Communications and Field Services. So welcome, John Johnston, if you get the opportunity to meet him at HamCation this year as the new ARRL Director of Emergency Management. So that is all I've got this week for the Ham Radio Guy. I think that will bring this show to a close and hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will submit that subscribe button and you will share with friends and that you learned something as well this week that will help you in your ham radio operations. As always, this is your ham radio buddy in the chair and on the air, the ham radio guy. I say 73 Marvin W0MET.